Hi everybody, Buzzsaw Gaming here, showing you my 2024 game room tour. So this right here is the main game room area. That's the CRT, that's my little chair. As you can see right now, Super Metroid is playing on the CRT. And down below I have the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation 2, which are typically playing. Right there, they're permanent homes. I like having the Super Nintendo there because I have a big library for it. It's my favorite console. And PS2 because I have PS2, PS1 games, plus I can play DVDs and all that as well, and music, CDs. And underneath I keep mostly the wires and things like that for my setup here. So it's pretty much the retro setup right here. And the majority of the games, as you can see, are all right here in this gigantic bookshelf. I'll go over that in a moment. Over here, you can see Mr. Buzzsaw's house. So he's hanging out right there, taking a relaxing, I guess, before he has some food later. Anyways, this is the entire, well, actually my collection here, I should say. It's got pretty much everything that I've showed before. Now first I'll go under here and show this right here, this section here. This basically is a little cupboard down here. I have my mini systems right there, as you can see. My Grafx 16 Mini, Genesis Mini, Super Nintendo Mini, original Nintendo Mini, etc. Below that, I have my box for my Jaguar, as well as my box for my Super Nintendo. I have my box over there for PlayStation 2, as well as the Game Boy Advance above it, the little case for it, and the Turbo Grafx 16 Express, right there. My original Xbox down there. And here a box with an extra Super Nintendo and a couple arcade sticks, the Genesis arcade stick and the Super Nintendo arcade stick right here in that part. This part over here, as you can see, I have more consoles here. Now generally what I do with these consoles is I just take them over to the CRT and hook them up. All the connections are under the TV, so it makes it super easy. At the top right there, you see I got my Nintendo 64. Next to it, my GameCube. Next to it, my black Sega Dreamcast. Below that, I got the Grafx 16 arcade stick. I believe there's some controllers, a GameCube controller, a PlayStation controller. There's the box for my PlayStation 4 Pro. And down below, my Grafx 16 and my Sega Genesis. That's where they're housed. Above here, take you to my first collection here, is the Atari Jaguar collection. So that's my rendition of Atari Jaguar. I don't have a lot of games, just 10. And that's where the Jaguar sits right there. Absolutely beautiful with that controller. Believe it or not, that controller is one of my favorite. So I really like it. I really enjoy it. Above there, we have a collection of PlayStation 2. You know, all those great hits from PlayStation 2, Black, the Grand Theft Auto series, Katamari Damacy, all that. And next to that, PlayStation 4, which is a lot of PlayStation 3 games in my case. Assassin's Creed, The Last of Us Part 1, Part 2, Days Gone, Red Dead Redemption, Doom, the Uncharted series, things like that. Above that, I have Sega Genesis loose cart. You can see right there, got Alien Storm, Elysia Dragoon right there. A couple other great titles as well. Loose Super Nintendo. I don't have a lot of loose Super Nintendo. There's F-Zero right there in the front. You can see a couple more back there. Super Punch-Out, Castlevania 4. Right here, my Nintendo 64 games, Mario Tennis, 1080 snowboarding right there. And I don't have the labels, so you'll have to watch my Nintendo 64 video to see the details on that, but those are my loose Nintendo 64 games. Above that, I have Dreamcast. As you can see right here, this is, you know, Seaman, Soul Calibur, you know, all those great games, Toy Commander, Resident Evil, Code Veronica, all that stuff right there. Next to it, that's my TurboGrafx 16 collection. Relatively small collection, but one of my favorite consoles of all time. I always rooted for the underdog, so that's why I like TurboGrafx 16, and that's why I like Atari Jaguar as well. So you can see Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge, Legendary Axe 2, Ninja Spirit, Devil's Crush, Splatterhouse, you know, some of the big titles right there, Bloody Wolf, the great games right there. Right next to that, I have PlayStation 1. So here I have Command & Conquer Red Alert, Warcraft 2. Now, you know, if you watched my PlayStation video, I mostly collected PC ports for PlayStation 1, so that's a lot of what I have on PlayStation 1. Except for Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis, Final Fantasy VII, some of those, but some really nice games. Going over here, more complete in box right here. Sega Genesis complete in box, Strider, Altered Beast, Golden Axe. I mean, some of the top arcade games that I used to play when I was young, I got complete in box. And those are there. Got a couple Super Nintendo right there. Street Fighter 2, one of my favorites, Tecmo Super Bowl. And then Nintendo 64, complete in box. Well, not completely. Actually, 3 of them are complete in box. 2 of them have cases, replica cases. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Have Zelda Majora's Mask, Doom 64, Resident Evil 2. Awesome games. Down here, more Super Nintendo. You can see this is all Super Nintendo right here. So these are the ones that have the case and the manual, like Super Metroid, Demon's Crest, Ninja Warriors, Wild Guns, probably one of my most expensive games, Run Saber. And right here, the complete in box Super Nintendo games, Doom, Cybernator, Zelda, Aliens, SimCity, some of that stuff, Mortal Kombat 2, and of course Turtles in Time, one of my favorite beat 'em ups. So just absolutely love that system. Below that, I have Xbox, original Xbox, and GameCube. As far as GameCube, if you saw that video, I have mostly just the GameCube exclusive games for the most part. You know, Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Golf, the 2 Zeldas, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, F-Zero GX, Mario Kart, the 2 Pikmin games. I absolutely love Pikmin. That's just the best new series for me. Metroid, Wario, which I absolutely love as well. I love that character, it's so silly. Xbox, right here, you can see Xbox. We've got Urban Chaos, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We've got Cold Fear, Panzer Dragoon, Halo, of course, Amped. You know, some of the best games there as well. Absolutely awesome. And if you go below that, actually I have a DVD collection as well. So it's my DVD movies right here. You can see I have the Bourne collection. Lots of movies like that, like, you know, Alien series, the Resident Evil series, Blade Runner, Heat. You know, mostly guy stuff, I would say. District 9, Ghost in the Shell. And up here as well, I do have a couple, I think a couple of these are TV series. I do have Colony. If you ever watched Colony, it's about an alien invasion. It's a really good series. the Dark Knight trilogy right there, Terminator, John Wick, Island, Ex Machina. So anyways, that's a little bit about that. I'll pan out back here. You can have a better view of the case itself. And this case, I have no idea what the brand is, where it came from. It came with where I'm living. So, and it just happens to fit my entire collection. Now, as far as my collection, this isn't my entire collection. I also do have a collection at my parents' house, and I kept it there on purpose. My original Nintendo is there, set up to a old style TV as well. So that's there. I keep it there because I grew up with Nintendo, and it just reminds me of home, I guess. So I keep that there. And also, I know I've mentioned before, I have a color computer too with about 5 games. That's somewhere in my parents' garage. I still haven't been able to find it, but if I do, I'll probably keep it down there as well, just so keep the nostalgia going of that place. And you know, that reminds me the most, I guess I should say, of my childhood. So I keep it there, but everything else is here. I'll pan over to the other part. This is the more retro part. Mr. Buzzsaw's home right there. You can see he's in his cave right now, relaxing, having a good time. And then here will be the rest of the setup. Right here, this is Skyrim playing right now. So that's my Sony 4K 50-inch TV. You can tell I like Sony products. So on the other room, I have the Sony Trinitron 27-inch, you know, CRT for all of the retro gaming. And HDMI gaming, I have this here. Basically for PlayStation 4 games. Also can watch DVDs here as well. Also the mini systems I hook up here. And I think later in the year, I probably will get a Switch eventually. I'm probably the only person who doesn't have a Nintendo Switch. So eventually I'll get that. And then, yeah, I think my collection will be more or less complete. It's been a lifelong journey. And I had a lot of fun, you know, doing this and just having all these memories, you know, just available at any time. It's just absolutely amazing. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what kind of content you'd like to see. Thank you.